Hi, I'm Kevin, and over the next 5 minutes I'm going to teach you how to Google Dork. But what is Google Dorking and why should you care? Google Dorking is a way of inputting specific search terms into the Google search engine that return us exact results, as opposed to the generic results that we get from regular search terms. So why does that matter? Well, imagine your job includes online research and investigations, or maybe you just want to find a better price for that item that you saw last week online. Using Google Dorking, we can speed up the online search process and return us more specific and exact results than we ever would get from regular searches. So with that said, let's jump in.
Okay guys, so you are on the website that I built for this tutorial. You've obviously clicked the tutorial button. You'll also note that you have a resources button on the top left. You can use that to dig deeper into Google Dorks whenever you feel like it. So before I explain what this form is and what it does, let's head over to the Google search homepage and take a look at what a normal Google Dork looks like. So in this case, I'm going to just look for government documents online. So we want to look for sites that have gov in the URL. And we want to look for a specific document, so file type, we'll say PDF or docx, a specific date. So we put the year first, 2021, we'll say July and the 1st of July, and let's see what that gives us. Okay, so we've got a docx here, more docx's, many PDFs, I know there are plenty. Anywho, we have lots of search results in the past month. You can see the dates showing up here, and these are all government documentations. The problem is, look at this search term that we had to use. It's pretty long and awkward to learn. So for that reason, I built this form. And what this form does is it takes in a normal search term. We can add filters to that search term, and it constructs the Google Dork for us in the background using JavaScript. So let me just close that down and let me run a search to give you an example. We'll look up Coinbase, and check exact match, and let's look for it after the 28th. Say we want to get any recent news for Coinbase in this instance. We'll generate the dork string, and then we'll run a search. That will launch a new window for us and give us our dork already inputted into the Google search. And there we have any recent Coinbase news. Here's something from the 30th, last 22 hours. So that's pretty much how it works, and we're going to spend just a couple more minutes looking around the form and seeing how we can alter things and use various filters. Let's take a closer look at the form and each input field. So this is our main input field at the top. We have to put at least one search term in here. We can also put in multiple search terms. So let's put in one search term. Let's say Kevin Curtis, and that's my name. And if we want to put in more search terms, we separate them with a comma and a space. So Kevin Curtis in Ireland. If we have more than one search term, we can't run an exact match. That's just a bug that I have to sort out in the form. If it's just one search term, we can run an exact match. So let's remove that. We can also run a social media search. This will run whatever search term we place in here through various social media sites. We can look up the search terms after a specific date or before a specific date, or both after and before. So we can look within a date period. We can also look up specific websites, and we can exclude specific websites. We can look up file types. So getting back to this one, why would we want to exclude websites? Let's say that you wrote something on your own website and you wanted to check for plagiarism. You could put your chunk of text in the main search term input field, and then you could exclude your own website from the searches. So any other website that shows up with that particular search term in it would indicate that there's some plagiarism. So with all that said, let's do a search for a username. So I'm going to say my own email address is kpcurtis. It's at gmail.com, but we don't need to put the full email address in there. If you just have a username, you can put a wildcard, which is an asterisk, followed by the dot, and then gmail.com. So this will look up any email account with this username, followed by anything else, and ending in at gmail.com. Sorry, that should be at. So let's take a look at that. Run the search. Not many matches, but we have a few. Okay, so this is me. This is my LinkedIn profile. This is a blog that I wrote back in 2014. And this one, I won't go too far down. I actually just found this. It shows my previous password and user account for a VPN service. So that was really useful. I've changed it since then. So I know we've gone over the 5 minutes that I promised, but I just wanted to go back and try to run a Google Dork search to find government documentations like we did at the beginning through Google. In this case, we're going to refine it a bit, and we're going to look for anything related to COVID. Check for an exact match. Let's look for it after, let's say, June the 1st, 2021. We're going to look up specific websites, so we're going to look for any government website in Ireland ending in .gov.ie, that means. So we have our wildcard followed by .gov.ie. And then we want to look for specific file types. So we'll look for PDFs. They're pretty common. docx. And let's say doc and one more txt. So let's run the search. That gives us our search string. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we have data.gov.ie. 10th of June, we have guidance for providers and practitioners. And we have plenty of government documents relating to COVID in Ireland since the 1st of June. So this is our Google Dork search term at the top here. It's pretty big. So it just shows how useful it is to use the form that I built instead of having to remember all this syntax.
So now that we know how to run a Google Dork search, what can we do to get better? How can we improve ourselves? Well, the best thing we can do is practice. Practice applying Google Dork searches to various search terms and various combinations of search terms. Try using different filters on each search term and see what you can dig up. Also, don't forget to dig into the resources. There's some really good tips in there. Yes, and that's pretty much it. So until next time, have fun and take care.